Hi, Kay.
Hi, Tracy. It's so good to
Welcome to
talk to
our
you,
humble
T.
abode.
I always feel when I watch your videos like I'm at my girlfriend's house having tea.
Well, honey, you're welcome to come have tea anytime you want, but I'm a coffee drinker.
Perfect. That works for me
Here's
too.
one for you.
I love it.
So we have a really exciting, 45 minutes here that we're going to share, hopefully with all of my love tribe. And I don't know, do you post these on your site as well, or
Yep,
link them somehow if people?
totally. Totally.
Okay, so hello to all of Kay's people too. I'm Tracy with TR's Tarot Talk 1111, and I'm really excited about this interview because you are the only astrologer that I listen to for the twin flame journey, and somehow, I don't know how, but somehow I know that you and I have the exact same mission, just two different languages. And so, how we found each other is pretty profound too. And the fact that we have a mutual friend is also pretty profound. So we are here tonight to talk about what's going on in the skies, and do you understand it? And could you possibly be open to learning more about how to understand it so that you can navigate your own twin flame journey or ascension journey too? Because I'm not 100%. I don't channel just for the twin flames. I actually am supposed to be an oracle to help guide those who are on the ascension journey as well. So tell me, Kay, how do you, as an astrologer, differentiate the energies of those who are on the ascension journey without a beloved compared to those who have been activated and in an ascension journey with a partner?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, thank you for the warm welcome. I appreciate it. And hello to everyone in Tracy's Love Tribe. Um, all those of you over at K Moon, hello. For those of you for whom this is your first introduction to TR's Tarot Talk, I've been watching Tracy for a little while, and she didn't really know I was watching her the way that I was watching her. But the mutual friend that she mentioned had said, this girl TR, she's on it every time. What she says is what you said. Look at this, and then she next new moon, she'd be like, look at this. I was like, dang, she really is tapped in. And, it was her tapped inness that had me go, okay, yeah, it was the same confirmation where I was like, okay, same tribe, same message, same mission, working in different ways to make sure that people all find their way back to love, back to light, back to source within
And
and
you're
source
so
without.
organized about it. I just have to say that I often marvel at the fact that my higher self chose this avatar for this job because I'm just, all over the place and always have been. I've been, I'm not the black sheep of the family. I'm the unicorn of the
Oh,
family.
yes.
And so we're small but mighty over here, Kay, and we are so just, you know, in awe. I'm in awe to have your presence here. And I really, I wanted to tell you that I was drawn for whatever reason. I sat down to clear space. I burned some sage. I got some of my crystals out, and I was just drawn to light an intention candle where I drew, and I shared this with my viewers, but I haven't shared it with you. The spirit told me that what we've been doing is we've been playing, and I don't know if you can see this because I'm on my phone and it's tiny, but this is like the MasterCard logo. There are two circles that overlap each other. And I didn't know what that was. I had to research it because it was channeled. And what I was told is that one circle is the divine masculine, the other circle is the divine feminine, and that space, that bridge in between the two is the Vesica Pisces. It is the perfect seat of creation where divine masculine, divine feminine integrate internally. Because remember, as above, so below, as within, so without. And so when we get into that harmonized energy where we're not pushing too much and we're not sitting back to receive too much, there's a balance in that. And so it
I love
just
that.
really, I believe that the time is now is what I keep hearing. The time is now. And so how do you think that that is being seen or noticed
Yeah.
by you in the stars?
Yeah, so I'll speak to a couple of things because I didn't get to answer your first question, and I really want to make sure I speak to that. And thank you for the kind words there. Um, I too sometimes wonder, like, why this avatar, really? This is what we're doing this lifetime? Okay. There's some things, and now that I know what I know about the earth realm, there are some adjustments I would have made to
Oh my goodness.
to my vehicle. But hey, we're here. We're going to roll with this because it's my
That's right.
vehicle, for my light body. But as I look at, the thing that you had asked about differentiating, and I'm going to tie it to that Vesica Pisces that you shared with us, differentiating the twin journey and, the twin flame journey from, the kind of overall ascension and light worker journey. What my guides really showed me was a while back is that there are many kinds of light workers on planet Earth right now to assist people in anchoring higher light codes, higher vibrations, higher frequencies on planet Earth so that the earth doesn't fall into complete and utter darkness. Always within darkness, there will be light. Always within light, there is darkness. The yin and the yang, the balance, they we can't eliminate darkness any more than darkness can eliminate light. But it's
Right.
how we choose to use the energies that dictates where we ultimately end up going. And we have that choice in that balance, as light workers to conduct the energy the ways we want to. So, in the Light Worker Collective, there are those who are here anchoring divine healing and the transmutation of sickness into health and the activation of our spontaneous healership capacities and our capacity to heal from within and heal with the earth. There are those in the Lightworker Collective and the Ascending Collective who are here to assist with divine knowing and divine intuition and restoring our capacity, helping us restore our divinity templates.
Right.
Um, and if we dive deep into the branch of the Twin Flame, Twin Soul, Soulmate Collective, Divine Love Collective, what we're here to anchor is divine love and help people understand a new way of loving, a new way of relating, and new rules for love and relationship than the ones we inherited from our forefathers and mothers. And
Right.
so, inside the entire Ascending and Lightworker Collective, twin flames are one aspect, twin souls are one aspect, and our role is to anchor that divine love for humanity both by our choices, our rewriting of family systems, family inheritances, and legacies that no longer serve us, that are outdated. We're rewriting those things for the next
Can
generation.
I interject just for a second? My
Do
spirit
it.
guide's saying to bring up archetypes that somehow part of the ancestral patterning, the karmic lessons of the archetypes.
Yes,
Um, Now that doesn't mean anything to me. So if you have anything to add about that, that's just what they asked me to bring through.
perfect. So, um, the way my guides showed me that that works is that there can be, in the spiritual DNA of your genetic line, there can be a lot of trauma around love and relationships and sexuality and sensuality that can be inherited from your mother's mother, your father's mother, etc., your father's father, etc. And those karmic imprints, many times I've seen twin souls will come into a family that has certain karmas around, let's say, infidelity, that has been a part of that ancestry for generations, for the twin to then work it out with their twin, that stops with them.
Right.
It quote unquote, as the saying goes, it ran in this family until it ran into me.
Right.
And so twins will incarnate into family systems that have certain levels of dysfunction to rewrite the storyline for the entire generation that they've incarnated alongside and the generations that will come after them by their example, their choices, and their vibrational blueprint that they're leaving with everyone who's tethered to them genetically.
Okay. So, like I get pictures, Kay, and I'm getting pictures of like from the macro down to the micro. So it starts back at source energy and then expands outward into the universal creation, right? Creation in a manifested way, in a solid manifested way. So is that kind of what you read as you read the creation story from like the macro?
In a way, yes. The way I've been reading astrology is really based in some core presuppositions and core beliefs. So, one of the first ones is that we are, in fact, creators. We were created in the Creator's image, and our capacity to create is such, it's unlimited. The only limitation is our own mind around it and what we believe is a limitation. And so, that echoing that you're seeing, that ripple effect that comes out from source throughout all creation, especially as the light worker and ascending collective, and twins are a part of it. They're not the only energy in there, but they're a part of that whole collective, have that access to awakened creatorship abilities to
Right,
rewrite things that are going on earth. So we
right,
act as source incarnate. We are the center of the ripple.
right. And I have to tell you that like the I don't know how closely you followed my channeled messages. I usually read tarot, but like about once a month or every, I don't know, when I'm called to the table.
Mm-hmm.
But when I do a channeled message, it's been hugely surrounding teaching my viewers and the people that whose lives I get to touch the art of manifestation, and it's been profound for me because I didn't know how. I'm not teaching from a perspective of, hey, look at me, look at all that I've manifested and all that I've done. No, I'm learning hand in hand with you guys. And so, just today, I was sitting here, see, I can't be alone. When my kid goes to his dad's and I don't have any readings scheduled, I can't be alone because I channel just by default. And so even today, Spirit was showing me that we are creator beings from a creator race, from the original creator source. And so we're kind of our superpower is creation. And so with the hijacking of the matrix, we have been conditioned and desensitized to our connection to source energy. They took God out of your heart and put him up on a cloud somewhere and said that you were unworthy and were about to be judged and damned for all of eternity. And I don't know about you or what your religious upbringing was, but for me that brought fear. It didn't bring love. And so I feel like what is happening is, this is kind of the story in the Bible about, the rapture and Archangel Michael blowing his trumpet and, the 144,000 original offshoots from the original God. The first, when one first became two, two became four, four became six. I was shown that that's the twins, that the twins had to separate the masculine and the feminine from one avatar into two in order to come back together to procreate. And so it's expansion, right? That's why Jupiter, I've been feeling Jupiter. Is Jupiter around?
Jupiter is around doing many things.
Well, I've got the magician here with the Nine of Swords in reverse. And what Spirit kind of channeled to me is that Jupiter is expanding our beliefs and clearing out the shadow, the Nine of Swords. It's like out. It's got to go, go, go. And so all of it had to bubble up, of course, and be seen before it could be cleared. So you know, I didn't really want to talk about cards too much, but I just see different players here. And
Yeah,
so I
can
would
you
like
share
for
with
you,
us what you channeled before we sat down? Because, or not channel, but you
sure,
like did a reading, like you pulled cards and set the energy. I'm really curious what it was you
I
saw there.
did. So I just asked Spirit, can you just show me union energy? So I'm sorry for those of you who aren't twins and you don't understand, or maybe you do, I don't know. But this is kind of union energy for the twins. And so what I've got is I've got the Nine of Cups clarified by the Nine of Cups and the Star. And then this card just kind of fell off of my pile, literally just like went bloop, and fell on top of it. And it is the Black Moon Lilith, right? It is the mother of the deaf child, the child that got um free will trumps destiny all day long. It's like you are a creator being and nobody is going to choose for you. And so I see Black Moon Lilith and I see Jupiter and I see Virgo. I don't know why, but I got big time Venus and Virgo energy here. And then I've got the Pleiades and Orion with Source showing up in the reading as well. So
Good
do you see
stuff.
that in the sky?
Yeah, there's actually a few things. And forgive me, my Wi-Fi kind of blinked a little bit, so I missed part of what you said. The Lilith part, can you just link that to the free will choice one more time for us?
Okay, so the way they're showing me, okay, now you got to remember, guys, I channel, right? This is not my belief system. This is not from me. Because I can already feel triggers coming up in me because of my Christian background. But what I'm hearing is that with this Nine of Cups clarified by the Nine of Cups, with the Star card, and then the Black Lilith, I'm hearing that every creation, in order to create, you have to create a void, and then that void, it makes energetic space for what you're bringing in, right?
Hmm.
It's like if energy was a cup of water, you can only fill it to a certain extent and then it will overflow. And so to keep balance, there has to be sacrifices made occasionally. And so Black Moon Lilith is in the sky is what I'm hearing, um, bringing an opportunity for the divine feminines to understand that they're allowed to wish for their own. They're allowed to be, I hate saying it because it's triggering me, but they're allowed to be selfish if they want their emotional needs fulfilled, if they want their wish granted, because we got Nine of Cups twice with the Star card. You can't get more wishes than that, right? And so the picture of Black Moon Lilith is of her holding the sacrificed child, is what I'm hearing. That for every creation, something has to go for something to be born. And so Black Moon Lilith is just having a conversation, I believe, is what I'm hearing with Jupiter and Saturn. And I see Virgo and I see, oh, Venus, of course, with the Nine of Pentacles here. There's a reevaluation, there's an opportunity to slow your roll and to really go within and ask yourself, it's kind of dark. I feel like like Black Moon Lilith is trying to tempt us away from union, is what it feels like.
Wow, that is extraordinarily profound based on what I'm seeing. Can I share the full moon in Aries chart with you and tell
Yes,
you
please
what's
do.
here? Okay, yeah, because there is, definitely some of that for sure that can also be seen here.
Mm.
So, the period of time that we've just walked into is the end of a period of self reflection that the Divine Feminine was in the sign of Libra. Now, when I read for the twin soul, twin flame, soulmate, divine love collective, I'm using Juno to represent divine feminine energies. Now, we all know, we all have both. Um, but there tends sometimes very early in the journey to be one who really holds more of the feminine and one who holds more of the masculine until the two get very integrated. And so, you know, for twins who are in separation, who are moving toward some level of physical union, this year, 2020, would have been a turning point year for many because unlike many years, divine feminine was actually retrograding back and forth in the sign of balance, harmony, and relationships. That's Libra. She was here for a total of 11 months. Frequently, she'll move around the wheel in the year to the tune of one sign per 40 days. This time, she was in the sign of Libra for 11 months. She just left at the time of this full moon. And
Can you tell
now,
me where Neptune was during this? Where was Neptune during this?
the entire time, Neptune's been in Pisces and will continue to be here for several more years.
Okay. Because
This
that's
Juno energy, though, the thing that you're tapping into is her move here into Scorpio.
mm,
Scorpionic energy is the cocoon, it's the transformation point, it's the place where the caterpillar comes in. We can't see what happens with our own eyes, but the caterpillar comes out, not a caterpillar, but a butterfly. She's going to be here all the way through 1221, the solstice gateway, when she comes out into the sign of truth, faith, and higher ideals. This passageway that's happening with this full moon in Aries and goes all the way through 1221 is a showdown between the divine feminine and her shadow energies, the pieces of herself that are counting up, is this worth it? What do I actually want? Who am I in this space? What do I need to let perish? Because Scorpio rules death, afterlife, and rebirth cycles. What do I need to let die so that something else can be reborn? And this is the inquiry for the divine feminine during the entire Mercury retrograde, because this is Mercury, this yellow one right here. And Mercury is going to go back and forth on top of the divine feminine energy in the sign of Scorpio and Libra before Mercury goes direct at the end of the Mercury retrograde period. So, and this full moon in Aries marks the beginning of that inquiry for us. So I'll pause there and see what questions and thoughts you have about that based on what you see.
well, well, what I see is when you say the divine feminine is going to be in Scorpion energy, she's going to get an opportunity to sacrifice, right? There's
Mhm.
something that's got to go. I I feel like there's something that's got to go. And so I can you tell me, because I should know this, but I just learned tarot like a year and a half ago, and it's not even learning, I just kind of remembered, I guess. But do you know, does the Fool's Journey also play out in the stars?
Hmm. I'm less familiar with tarot than you. It's
Oh, okay.
very plausible that it does, but astrology is more it's my gifting. I have the gift of the Magi, so I kind of tend to operate in that lane. Um,
So do you know if the magician, does that represent Mercury or does that represent uh
Jupiter, Mars. I'm not
Jupiter?
sure what card, the zero card, the fool's card is, what planetary energy it is associated with.
No, this is the magician. I'm
Oh, the
sorry, I said the
magician?
fools. I
No, you
meant
said
the
magician.
magician.
My brain just blanked on it. I'm not sure what card or planetary energy the magician is
I'm sure
tied
my viewers do. They'll let me know. They'll be like, Tracie, duh.
to. Yeah, like I said, I tend to stay in my lane. Astrology is my jam. I leave tarot to the experts, and you're one of my experts on that. But what I will say here is that yes, in order to manifest something, a new thing, we do have to let go of the old thing. And so, this journey the divine feminine is about to take is letting go of some of that old pain, old hurt, dragging it into the new era as a self protective armor of fear to try and prevent the past from creeping into our future. This journey from the Aries full moon through to the solstice gateway is our opportunity to drop those fear stories that we've been utilizing as armor so that we actually have room for what's new to open up in the divine connection.
Wow, it's just kind of like pretty deep, huh?
It does get
So
pretty deep, but it aligns when you ask, what exactly is union energy? Can you show that to me now? And show those cards one more time. Let me stop sharing so we can see them. You had the Nine of Cups.
I have the Nine of Cups
Okay.
clarified by the Nine of Cups, which in this deck says satisfaction and wish fulfillment. And then I have the Star, which in this one says universal alignment. And then I have the Black Moon Lilith holding the sacrificed child. And actually, it may not even be her. That's just what I'm hearing, because in this deck, it's probably Isis. I don't know. But I heard very clearly, Black Moon Lilith, that she is presenting us with an option
Mm-hmm.
to choose for ourselves instead of allowing fate to choose our destiny for us. But it doesn't feel right to me. It feels trickery, like a trick. Okay, like it doesn't feel. It feels like she's trying to trick us into no union with divine masculine. You know, maybe with a karmic or with
Mm-hmm.
more of the lower vibrational energy. Because then I've got this magician here with the Nine of Swords in reverse, and in this deck it's a masculine, right? So there are fears that are being felt and cleared. It's like masculine energy. I felt Jupiter. I don't know why. I don't know what he represents in the tarot, but I felt like Jupiter, the expansion, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like we're being faced with our deepest fears, and that's Black Moon Lilith, and they're being faced with their deepest fears, which is with the sword energy. It's like they're. I'm kind of hearing it's every battle they've ever been through is what I'm hearing in my head. Just every battle they've ever been through, but they're not feeling into it at all. Their heart chakra is completely not feeling into it. It's all head. It's all head. So, never a day done.
Mm-hmm.
So here's Venus, and I see that she is reevaluating. She's actually um, in this spread. I mean, I don't know what's going on in the skies, but I feel like she has options, and Black Moon Lilith knows it. And she's kind of taking advantage of the opportunity, like she's being opportunistic because the divine feminine now has choices. Because here I see with the Knight of Pentacles in reverse and clarified by the Seven of Cups. Here's the Knight of Pentacles. It's like this is a manifestation that has not grounded into the physical yet. It's the magician manifesting. It's not here yet. It's in the in between, right?
Right.
Knight
So,
of Pentacles in reverse with the Queen of Cups, Page of Wands, and Seven of Cups. It's like there's inspired action that's coming, but it's almost like she's intuitively feeling her way into it. She doesn't want to listen to Black Moon Lilith. She wants to trust her instincts. Because then the last part that we've got here is the Queen of Wands in reverse. She's the manifester, right? She's the queen that is inspired by spirit. She's the queen that gets up off her throne and gets it done. She takes care of business. And she also is hot, like she just attracts everything that she needs to her. So this manifestation is like in limbo, is what I'm hearing. It's not here yet. It's in the in between. And so there's this Five of Wands and the High Priestess. It's like there's inner conflict. She's triggered. She's triggered. And in this triggering, she has to use her intuition again with this time the High Priestess. And so that's it.
that
Bottom of the deck was
energy
the
is
Knight
here
of
in the sky.
Pentacles. What's
That
that?
energy is here in the sky. You want me to show you?
Yes, please.
Yeah, I'll share with the viewers because that energy is definitively here. And I spoke about some of it inside of the most recent Twin Soul Union energy update that I put on my channel. I think the title was Transmuting Pain to Power, because that's kind of the journey we're in up through the solstice gateway, and then from the solstice gateway through the end of the first quarter of 2021. And you basically just laid out everything I said in that video in tarot in less than the amount of time it took me to say it. So thank you. This is why I roll with you. I'm like, yeah, this woman, she's on something. This girl, she's on it. So what's
On
happening
something. It's called the Holy Spirit. No, I'm just kidding.
what's happening with the Lilith energy here? Here's Lilith inside of the chart. She's been sitting in Aries. Um, and right now she is having a intimate conversation with Mars and with Eris here. Now, if you're not fully familiar with the like original like mythology around Lilith, Lilith was just, she was given the same deal Eve was given. She was created as the first wife of Adam. Eve was actually her replacement. Lilith was given that deal of, you're going to sit in this garden, you're going to make these babies for Adam, you're going to eat this fruit, not that fruit, ignore the snake, I'll be back to check on you. Lilith kind of was like, meh, I don't know about this. This doesn't really seem like my jam. And so Lilith departed the garden, and that was the last we heard from her in the accepted creation stories. Now we've heard other things about her in other places since then, but that was our introduction to who she is. A willingness to leave everything she knew, everyone she knew, the safety of what she knew, those who had created her and protected her, to find her way in a whole other universe. I will take anything but this. She's very black or white, all or nothing in that way energetically. So, with the Lilith energy here in the sign of Aries, which is the sign of the self, our essence, who we are at our core, and our ambitions, our like our kind of like our drive and our passion, our motivation to go after, to seek. With Lilith sitting here in Aries talking to Mars and Eris, Mars in neutral energy is just straight up like ambition, drive, power. It's that capacity to move outward, projecting. In the shadow, it's war, it's cutting. In the light, it's passion and drive. Then we have Eris here. Eris energy, Eris. She's the goddess of discord and strife. You put the three of those together, not one of them is operating in their light. They're all operating in their shadow. And they've got a hard square, a 90-degree angle to this very difficult energy that's ending energy over here in the sign of structure and work. That's Capricorn. So, what we have going on is triggers
Oh my God, yes.
to the current structure of our life. And now for the divine feminine, questions about, is it worth it? Am I headed
Right.
where I'm meant to go? What more do I have to give up in order to have what I want? Is what I want even possible on the path that I've been on? Is what I want possible with the person I've been thinking it's possible? And there is, my guides told me, come the end of February, beginning of March, there's another bifurcation point in the collective. And by bifurcation point, I mean everyone's headed in this direction towards some sort of more deeper spiritual union with self, the divine counterpart. Some people are taking this route. Some people split off from there and they take this route. Other people are going up here, like, oh, here's my union. I just want to be here. Some people are going to get there by going this way. Some people are going to get there by going this way. And they just, they go the path that's appropriate for both their soul growth and their service, right?
So
We're
you
all
don't believe
headed
that
there.
twin flames are destined to be in union with the I hate labels, so I don't even want to go there, but I feel like my viewers are going to want to know, and they're
Mhm.
not as as stickler on labels. They kind of like them. So if the divine masculine and divine feminine are, let's say, there's Billy Bob over there. That's my twin flame. That's my divine masculine. It's the one that awakened me to the whole journey. It's the one that's been in and out of my life for, X amount of years. And I wouldn't be here today on this journey doing what I'm doing and having the epiphanies that I've had if it weren't for the interaction that I've had with this person, even though it has been kind of like the princess and the pea, right? It's like, oh, it feels really good, but it sucks,
Mm-hmm.
It's like I'm not getting any sleep, I'm not getting any rest, and there's just something hidden beneath the surface, and it just needs to come out. And so it for me, because I speak in energy, I paint pictures in energy so that you can feel emotion, right? Energy and emotion, emotions, what it feels like. And so I think my viewers would like to know, can there be a changing of the guard? If that person, that masculine that activated you and has done the dance with you thus far, if they're just like so far um, off of the radar, like just off radar, not even awakened. Is there a changing of the guard? Is there an opportunity? Because I kind of get the feeling as a light worker that the mission is the most important thing.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So, it's like onward, upward, and outward. I've been feeling like my spirit guide, I've been feeling like my twin's higher self has been kind of copping out in our communication, where he's like, I just don't want to do it. I quit. I don't want to do it. And so, it's like, I don't know. I know a lot of the people I read for are really, really experiencing this kind of a scenario. And then we get to the guilt thing, right? Because the divine feminine goes first. And so if we're not able to get them to awaken or at least start their shadow work or whatever, but I think they are. See, I think they are. I think they're doing it. They just don't know they're doing it, and we don't see them doing it. But it just is a question I think that my viewers would like to know. It's like, what happens if you choose someone else? Do you like fall from grace?
Yeah, you've asked a couple of really good questions in there, and I'll just share what's been shown to me. And my suspicion is that you've probably been shown very similar things because I've noticed everything that my guides have told me when I watch what you share. Um, it's like literally almost verbatim comes out of your mouth. So, um, what they were showing me was that, you know, this goes back to the first piece of the conversation we had, that we have a very high quotient of creatorship capacity within us as light workers and ascension souls incarnate right at this time. And so, more so than the average human, we have the capacity to bend timelines, to jump
We're
timelines,
the first. We're
to
the first.
alter
We're
and
first
edit the
class.
path.
Right.
So, there's that piece. However, the other piece of this is that the kind of hidden, the question within the question that you didn't ask, but everybody always ends up asking me. I don't know if they ask you, but I get this question a lot. Is, are we meant to be? Does every set of twins come into union? Is this ever going to happen? And if so, can you look at the chart and tell me when? And this is a hard truth. It was hard for me to accept and take this in. When my guide showed me, they said, "Kay, the point of this journey was to anchor love and a new way of loving on planet Earth. It was to rewrite the old templates. For this to happen, a guaranteed get into marriage romantic 3D union for every single set of twins, it is not what's going to serve the collective at its highest. For some people, what will serve the collective at its highest are very different maps. Those twins hold those maps in their hearts. They are being shown, if they're paying attention to their intuition, what their map is. And what your map is can be altered in real time, because And this is the piece I think you were tapping on earlier before we got started. I was waiting for you to go there, and I was like, okay, no, now it's just the time to say it. The one thing my guides continuously hark back to me about is in our solar system, every single one of these planets has a meaning. This one is so rarely talked about. That little circle there with the cross on it, no
Right?
one talks about what that is. What that is
Is that
planet
Earth?
Earth. Yes.
Oh, Earth.
And what Earth, the symbolism and the meaning of Earth, we calculate what all the other things mean, but we omit the place where we live and what it means in the constellation that we're a part of, not set apart from. And what Earth is about and what its symbolism is about, and the place we were brought is that place of free will. It's a place of manifestation. It is a place of choice. That's what Earth represents. And so every time we have a new or a full moon, Earth either sits with the sun or opposite the sun. We get this opportunity to make a new choice, to change the timeline, to jump. And so you get the choice. Some twins are finding after being on this journey 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, 40 years.
41 years. 41.
Some people's twins have both told them and shown them their free will choice is to stay married to the soulmate they are married to. But that doesn't mean that the twin who is not, who's, left out of that marriage, that doesn't mean that that twin has to live a diminished life. Our love is big enough, it's strong enough, it's inclusive enough to say, I love you enough to let you make your choices in this lifetime, and I love me enough to include someone in my life who will love me as well. My love is that
Amen.
big where I can love
Put
you
that
and
on a
I can
plaque for
love
me.
someone else.
I'm sorry, I interrupted you. I just felt like I had to say, I need that in a tattoo or on a wall or something.
Well, we all do, and that's part of the rewriting of the template, because the old template and the old paradigm had that one true love, if it's not you, I die. That was the
Right? Or
template. I
I
am
go
chained to you,
alone.
and if it's not you, I'm alone forever and ever and ever. That was the old
Right.
way. The new way, I mean, love is so expansive. It's inclusive. It is giving. It is generous. Just because I love my first son doesn't mean I love my second son any less. I love them both.
Right?
Right?
That's unconditional love. That's the template. I get it. I totally get it. Only I channel from the macro, like the 5D. I can't function very well in the 3D.
Mm,
So the energy around that for me is just forgiveness and love, and it doesn't have
yes.
to even be in a physical capacity at all. It's like kind of oh my God, I'm hearing a song, Love the One You're With.
Mm-hmm.
So it's, I don't know, it's been very profound for me because like, how do you, how do your guides channel to you the higher picture, the bigger picture? Because like I'm being shown quantum energy, like everything in energy, like energy is everything. God is energy, and God and everything is God, right? God is the
Mm-hmm.
alpha, the omega, the beginning, the middle, the end, everything that was, everything that is, and everything that shall be. And so they've been channeling to me, and when they channel to me, sometimes I don't know what the hell they're talking about. They don't give me the answers. I have to go on a quest, right? I got to figure it out. And so
I'm
for me
familiar with that.
personally, no, it's like, really? That's all you're going to give me? Like, we can't go any further with that channeling? And so, for me personally, it's, I see things like, when God first split off and, I was steeped in religious background. I am a ordained minister. I taught Sunday school, sat on sessions. I was the secretary. I led the choir. I've been there, done that, wore the hat. And so like I knew scripture, and scriptures have changed etherically, which we don't need to get into that, but I'm just here to say that I didn't know what that meant. That was part of my awakening, was the whole Mandela effect, and spirit showed it to me as all timelines are, all they are is a vibration. And so when you are in a certain vibration, you become a match to it, and that is the experience that you have. And
Mhm.
so the reason why you can't experience the dinosaur days is because you have evolved way beyond that. And so that will never be your experience again. But that doesn't mean that timeline doesn't exist and run simultaneous with this one, because there are younger souls that haven't had that experience yet. And so what they've been showing me is with this Vesica Pisces or Pisces, whatever it's called, is that this is the great harvest, right? We are providing the bridge for the lower timelines to choose a higher timeline, to choose a higher vibration, to cross over through the in-between into the next vibration, and maybe even quantum jump into, super higher frequency than they were before, almost like the Lumerians, because I'm seeing here the Pleiades, Orion, and the Lumerians. And so it's almost like the template of those higher vibrational civilizations is available now for the first time in a very long time. But we are creating from the knowledge, not from the experience.
That's
Did that go
that's No, 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 not at all. I was, as you were explaining it before the word even came out of your mouth, I was like, yeah, what she's talking about is quantum leaps, quantum jumps, moving from a linear way of going through life into a quantum way of moving through life, by moving through life by vibration and frequency, as opposed to moving through life by thought? The access point to that my guides were showing me, and they gave this to me back in November, the access point is the heart. The access point is living from the heart and not from the head. And what the heart knows and what the heart will do and what the heart will choose is what's based on love. The access point is standing in love and coming from a place of love. And so kind of going back to tie up that point around, what, two twins come together, do they not come together? How do we know? Blah, blah, blah. Those are very linear and from the mind questions. What the heart wants to know, and what the heart is here to access or open up access to, is what would love do in this circumstance? What would love choose for me and for this person? And so the question that I, want to leave viewers with as their access point, especially as we move through this portal, most of my viewers are divine feminine. A lot of my male viewers actually are, they do understand that they have both, but this passage of divine feminine through Scorpio and with this Mercury retrograde is going to be a period of self-reflection. The question I want to leave you with is, at the end of your life, on your final days, what is it that, when you watch the movie back of your life, what choice is it that you made in the name of love that has you stand up and applaud the man or the woman you watched make that choice? What has you go, wow, what a hero for love? That's the question we're being asked to look at as we move through this passage. So for some of you, that's going to be about gracefully and lovingly and kindly saying, I respect your choice to be with somebody else. You have told me, you have shown me, you are absolutely not leaving. And I respect love enough to not live without it, to stop not letting love in. I respect love enough to start letting it into my life again, and to be a conduit for it. And for others of you, it's about having a more honest conversation with your counterpart and standing up for love between the two of you in a way that you've never done. Some of you have given space and actually been like, oh, I'm giving space. No, you're running. You're not giving space, you're running, because you're not standing for love. For others of us, it's about having a look and seeing, okay, have I really expressed myself honestly? Have I truly been willing to hear their honest response about where they're at with our connection. And have I truly been willing to be with in the name of love, because I love this person? Am I truly willing to be with whatever they have to say is their truth? Do I believe in the power of love enough to know that I can be with whatever their truth is and not be destroyed by it? So there's
That's pretty profound, because like that's exactly where I feel I kind of feel like that's where I'm at. Like, I just love. I'm like, you know what? I can love you from over there. I can love you from up there. I can love you from over here. I love you when you're talking to me. I love you when you're ghosting me. I love you when you're brave. I love you when you're fearful. I just love you. And if you don't, want the experience of bringing that kind of a love into alignment, and lighting the chakras up and linking, because I believe that the twins link, right? They link
we do.
energetically when they come together. And I believe that when there's a lot of distortion, when there's a lot of distorted masculine or feminine energy, that when those link ups happen, it triggers every fear, every shadow, everything that they've ever experienced, not just in this lifetime, but in every lifetime, because we're in a karmic review. I don't know what this means. I'm just channeling. We're in a karmic review year. We're
Yeah, that's accurate.
And so, it's like it's time to put the way spirit shows it to me is it's all just energy. It's like, put the freaking burdens down.
Down.
Choose love.
Yes.
Choose
Yes.
love. Just like, quit overthinking, over processing, over analyzing. Like, we are screwing our own manifestation up big time. And so it's like our higher self is manifesting better for us. It's like our egos are still manifesting distortion. And so like I feel like I've turned a corner. Like I want love in my life. I want to share what I have learned, but I don't want anybody to come in and be anything for me. I don't want them to be what I live for. I want to live for, my highest and best purpose on this earth. And I want something that accentuates that, like, putting a nice hat on with your rockin' outfit, right? It's like, not, that the hat ain't gonna make or break the freaking look, right? Or the experience. The hat is going to accentuate or take away from, depending on what? A judgment.
Yeah.
That's all, is just a judgment. And so the judgment is, do I choose love or do I choose fear? And because the opposite of love is not hate, the opposite of love is fear. And where there's fear, there is shadow. And where there's shadow, it's going to manifest in your reality. It just is, because it's where you place your focus that you create. And so I don't know, Spirit's really been channeling a lot to me lately about manifestation, how to clean it up. They
Mm.
showed me, like when you go on social media and you're checking, your wall and Facebook, and you're just reading everybody's posts for the day, and you like that one or unlike that one, or whatever, you send prayers, that's all energy, and you're just freaking giving it away to everybody. You're not keeping anything back for yourself. And it's kind of designed to do that. It's designed to get you trapped in that, manifesting what everybody else wants instead of manifesting what you want. And so if you want to co-create with the universe, you're going to have to place your focus and attention with intention and desire and action on the experiences you want to have. So say yes to those, say no to all the others. And I've been myself stuck in that pattern of social media. It's like I live on my phone and the YouTube readings, because for me, I didn't know how to read tarot. Spirit told me, to learn it, but they didn't give me tools. And then like Rich Lop came along and gave me tools. He gave me the tools, and he directs the twins to me. I don't know how, but every time he recommends my channel, I get a new influx of twins. And it just, I ask them, how'd you find me? And they're like,
Rich
Rich
Lob.
Lop. Yeah. I'm like, dude, that's pretty profound and cool.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I
so
love
I don't know. Where do you feel? Where are you? Like, we're going to have to end here in a minute. So I guess let's wrap this up just one last question for you, and then we'll go into discussing all about your class, which I am so excited to see, because like yes, I'm a channel, but I don't always understand what I channel. And I think your tool, your school, Star School, can give those of us who feel it but can't really understand it a tool to do that with. So
Yeah.
the last thing I just wanted to ask you is where are you on that journey of unconditional love?
Every day, it's a journey. Every single day. Because what I was born into and the templates I inherited, that's not how I was raised.
No, me neither.
That is not what I was raised with. I was raised very in a hyper Christian household. I come from a
Me too.
hyper Christian lineage, like minister after minister after
Yeah.
minister, like preacher's daughter kind of things. Um, and the lineage that I come from has a lot of transmutation to do around who you're supposed to love and who you're not,
And who you
what
give your power to.
the
Who
alignment
you
between love
worship,
and commitment, because they're not the same thing. Love and commitment are two different things.
right?
Yep. And the
Yeah,
alignment between self love and self commitment. Because if you cannot fully love yourself, you cannot fully commit yourself anywhere.
right.
And so all of that is the transmutational work I've inherited and that I'm working on in my journey. And it's a daily journey, a daily practice,
Do
choice
you,
by choice, minute by minute. There's a constant self correcting. Oh, that's the old way. What would be the new choice?
right?
Oh, got to rewrite
Well, and
that, got to
that's what
redo that.
Spirit told me, is that divine, because I got real pissed, man. I got so tired. I quit channeling like messages through tarot for the twins for a little while there, because it was the same freaking negative energy over and over and over again. And so I got a little pissed and started going off on these tangents where I was channeling the stars instead of the twins, right? And
Well, that's
so,
fun about you. That's why I actually really watch your channel, is because you don't require the chart in order to channel what's happening in the stars. The stars can validate you, but intuitively, you're already fairly, more than fairly, you're very tapped in.
sometimes I feel too tapped in. Sometimes I want to tap out.
Don't we all? Like, oh, okay, thanks for all the messages. What do you want me to do with all of these?
Right? So
Yeah.
my viewers, I think, would really love to hear about your school. Okay, could you just tell us like the
Yeah.
basics, like what is it and how do we sign up? I'm excited.
Totally. So, thank you for having me on. I really appreciate being here and being able to kind of channel information for the Twin Soul Collective and then validate it with what's going on in the charts, especially at this particular moment. The full moon in Aries has opened up a passageway between now and solstice. And what that passageway is giving us the opportunity to do is exactly what you opened your reading sharing. Are we going to choose the union with love, not necessarily with our person, but are we going to choose union with love or not? And for some of us at this juncture, that does mean spending more time working through what's going on in our connection with our person. For others of us at this juncture, it means allowing somebody else into love. For some of us at this juncture, what that may mean is something entirely other. It's going to be unique to each set of twins because each set of twins comes with their own stuff to rewrite, their own blueprint. So I've opened up something called Star School, and this is a little screenshot of the website here. If you go down here to where it says Star School and just click there, you'll get all the information you need. And what Star School is it's an opportunity to get the clarity you need to confirm and validate those intuitive hits that you've been getting about your connection so that you can really start to differentiate love, what's the voice of love, what love is asking you to do and inviting you to do, versus fear. and where fear is causing you to shut down, opt out, um, retract from your connection instead of showing up for love. So, this whole school is designed to help you learn astrology, of the astrology of freedom and choice. There's an entire branch of astrology that is very deterministic, very fate driven. We call that fatalistic. And it's all about, what do the stars tell me I'm going to do and have? But it erases, complete erasure of the fact that Earth is a free will zone. Free will is the trump card.
Right. It
There's
trumps destiny all day long, is what Spirit told me. Free will trumps destiny all day long.
every day, all day. And we continuously abdicate our power to what our counterpart is doing, to our pain from our past, to the people who give us a paycheck, to our children and their needs. We abdicate, abdicate, abdicate all day long, and then wonder why we're so in so much pain in our lives. What Star School does is it gives you the chance to look at the seasons and go, okay, if this is the season, what are my choices to get the best of it? Right? So that way you're no longer going, okay, winter sucks, so I'm going to wear shorts and make it be summer. It doesn't really work like that. Winter does suck, so you can actually, winter doesn't suck for everybody, but if that's your experience, right, you can travel someplace warm, you can get the parka, you can find a warm, cozy fireplace. And what this does is it shows you how to work with that seasonality, both in your connection and in your own life, so that you're not swimming upstream anymore. You're using the current of energy that's coming towards you, the force of the flow of life and the river you're in coming towards you, and you're turning that and utilizing it and wielding it as your power. Instead of power coming at you, you're using it as power coming through you. And then that way you come back to some of your mastery. So in 101, we do a lot of the astro basics, just understanding, okay, what house, what planet, what sign, what does it all mean? And this is one of the classes. I love this class because this is a class where we get our hands dirty. We roll up our sleeves. You're going to get you have to get a copy of your chart, which you can get on my website very easily. I show you
I
how to
have
do
mine.
that.
It's crazy.
It's so fun, right? To see every person is a very particular, unique, and special snowflake. No two
I
are
know I
alike.
don't have any variation. I'm a Cancer Sun, Virgo Moon, Cancer Rising, Virgo Venus.
Beautiful construction. It's the perfect construction for who you are and what you came to do. And in this course, and what the 101 course, we're going to, by class 2, have you starting to read your chart and know who you are. And by class 4, you're going to actually start to know exactly what's coming and how to be able to tell what's coming. All classes are pre-recorded, so you can listen and learn on your own schedule. We have live office hours for Q&A. You can submit questions in advance. If you can't come, totally okay. You can re-listen for the answers to your question. And then in 201, we dig into, the astrology of the twin soul divine connection. Even if you're not sure if you're a twin soul, if you're a soulmate, if you're not sure if you're dealing with a twin soul or a karmic or a false twin, it doesn't matter. The activation of spiritual growth through love is what you're learning. And Star School will help you understand how to interpret the seasons for yourself based on your intuition, pairing it with what you're seeing in the stars so that you can map your next step forward and stop working against the flow of energy, being taken advantage of by your own triggers, like we were talking about earlier, because that's the choice. Are we going to let the Lilith energy take advantage of our triggers and get us off our path, or are we going to take a stand for love, right?
Right.
201 helps you clarify some of those things. Again, all pre-recorded. Listen and learn at the time that works for you. A lot of people had questions about Star School, so will the chart show if I'm in a twin connection, if I'm dealing with an ascension partner or something else? How long are classes? Are they recorded? What time zone? Will you do it again? What kind of astrology do you practice? All of this is here. So you can just pop on over to frequently asked questions and find the answer to your question. But we start on October 7th. So that's about a week away from the time we're recording this. So hopefully, if you're interested, you can enroll before that start date. But even if you want to enroll a little bit after that start date, you can, because everything is pre-recorded, so you can listen and learn at your own pace and just join the office hours for whatever class you happen to be on. It's okay if you join on, the 14th. Bring your questions from class 1. Everyone will be working at their pace. You can ask whatever you'd like. Okay.
Wonderful.
So that's the way that works. And I do have a special bonus for the first 50 people who enroll. The first 50 people who enroll get 3 special things from me. The first one is the 2021 retrograde report. So many
Ooh,
people are kind of like terrified of retrogrades, but what I'm doing in the retrograde report is just mapping out how to utilize those times, because they're times to revisit, redo, reflect, reactivate, relearn certain things so that we can move forward in a cleaner fashion, more aligned fashion in our lives. The second thing the first 50 people get is the retrograde guide. So I'll break down what retrograde planets mean so that you understand how long it lasts for, no matter which planet it is, what the meaning is for those planets, so you know what to expect and how you can use that energy to lean into your mastery instead of constantly feeling, again, triggered or manipulated by a retrograde, because that's not mastery or creatorship. And we want to get us toward that active state of love in the heart, that quantum state of living in life, so that you can create what you want. And the third thing I'm providing is the 2020, or not the 2020, sorry, the divine union schedule. So for divine counterparts, I'll be providing when those 2 energies, Jupiter and Juno, are conjunct in the sky for the last 30 years, so you can reflect on your relationship, when things opened up, when things shut down, and for the next 30 years so that you can see, okay, when is the wind at my back to get this little sailboat off the rocks? Like, how can I actually work with the energy instead of working against it? Because I've seen
hey,
so
I'm an old lady. I don't know if I got 30 years.
many. Well, hopefully I'll give your guest a freebie. I haven't said this to anyone else. The next big union window that's opening will be in 2023. There's a mini union window opening all next year, 2021. Then the next one that's even bigger than that is 2023.
Can I say something real quick? Because I know you've got to wrap this up, but I was told by Spirit before I even knew what a twin flame was, that I was an oracle that was helping 3 waves of ascending souls and twin flames to come into union by the year 2023.
Hey.
That's what I was told.
I knew you were aligned with something. Every time I talk to you and watch your videos, what's shown in the stars was what comes out of your mouth, even though you claim you know nothing about astrology.
Nothing.
It's you're always tapped in, and that's why you're one of my favorites, because you bring the same message from a different perspective that sometimes helps even me understand what I'm hearing and what I'm seeing. I'm like, oh, that's what's meant here. It's what Tracie said.
It's the parable, right? Jesus taught in parables for those with the eyes to see and the ears to hear. And so, like, I'm a seed planter. I just drop seeds, and if you're ready for them, you get it. And if you're not, then tough luck. Better luck next time.
Well,
No, I'm just kidding, but
speaking of
go
good
ahead.
luck, I really do want to provide something for your viewers. I'd love to give 2 spots away for Star School 101 and 201. Would that be okay?
Absolutely. I think they would be thrilled for the opportunity. And
Hooray!
it's nice because there's sometimes something that you're very destined for, but maybe, because of your shadow work, you haven't manifested that flow of energy, right, in the way of money. And so, I'm going to set my intentions that the ones that win are the ones that need it the most and really haven't manifested the capability of having it, because I think that would be a
Yes.
beautiful outcome.
Honestly, that's what I ask Spirit every time I put all the names who entered from someone's channel into the random name picker. I just open my heart to the divine, to spirit, to the quantum field, and I say, please let the name come forward who needs and will utilize this most for the highest good of them and their life, their twin, and all involved. And then I just hit the little click button and it pops out a name. It's pretty magical. But the
Yeah.
way the drawing will work, I'll go ahead and explain that so that we can wrap up here. There's going to be a link below this video, right, Tracie? You'll link it for
Yep.
people? Okay.
Yep.
What you want to do is go to bit.ly/star school, all caps. And then you just want to enter this giveaway down here, first name, last name, what's your email, which channel did you hear about Star School from? Down here you want to enter, you'll see TR's Tarot Talk here, so just click TR's Tarot Talk. And then at the bottom, you're going to see a question that says, what did you learn from watching TR's Tarot Talk? And I don't mean this conversation with me. I want to know what you have learned from Tracie. Because if you've been a viewer of hers, Tracie's out here teaching every single time she's on video, whether it's live or recording. Share what you've learned from her. And you've got 24 hours from the time this video is posted. After that, I'll close up the drawing and then I'll post winners over on my channel. So be sure to subscribe over at K Moon. That channel is where you subscribe, and I'll also email you directly. So just in case, you mistyped your email, make sure you're subscribed to my channel so that if you win, you get the opportunity to see it there as well.
Well, and who wouldn't want to be anyhow? Because I'm telling you, I've been linking you since I found you. I don't even know how long ago that was, but you're in every video at the bottom in my they're not the most recent because like I'm not that dedicated at technology, but I link your site and I figure, they're smart enough to figure out what the current energy video is, right? So I just linked one and I keep copying and pasting because I think that they go hand in hand. It's like you and I are like peanut butter and jelly, right? And
Yes.
so I hope that most of my viewers are already subscribed to your channel. If they're not, they've missed several opportunities, probably months and months of opportunities to
Hilarious.
to be done, done with that part of the process, right? So hopefully you're on the radar. They're already members, right?
And if you're checking this out over on the K Moon channel, definitely subscribe to TR's Tarot Talk. Again, she is one of my favorites because of the way she does teach in parable, speak in metaphor, channel the stars without even needing a chart. She's always on the money around the guidance towards love and the guidance towards anchoring more light. So, Tracie, thanks for having me.
You're welcome. Before you go, Spirit saying I got to share these three cards. It's just a sentence. So the blue dragon is from the Pleiades. I do feel that there are a lot of souls, old souls here from the Pleiades that are volunteers, part of the waves that are anchoring the light codes. But what it says is prepares you to accept source healing. Accept a heart chakra activation, give and receive heart healing freely. And then the next one was the pure white dragon from Orion. Transforms your ascension knowledge into pure wisdom. Process what you know. Act with truth and honesty. Let your wings of light grow and expand. And what I'm hearing is practice, 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 right? When you start anything new or adapt a new belief system, you got to kind of fake it till you make it. And so the last one here is Source Dragon, attunes you to the infinite. Be still in the silence. Magic can happen. Be in the moment. And I'm also hearing there's a new chakra coming on board. I don't know what it is or what it's called, but it is attuning us and tapping us into the energy of source energy. And so, look for that to happen too if it hasn't already. There's some new chakras coming on board.
I've been shown that as well. In fact, I got a high heart chakra activation. Um, back in June, and I didn't understand what was going on. There was all kind of craziness in the space between my throat and my heart. Craziness.
Mm.
I didn't know why, but when I sat down, I was like, okay, what the heck is this about? Because it had been going on for a long time. My guide showed me this is your high heart has gotten turned on, and this is what it represents and what it means, and when it's imbalanced, what's going on. So at some point, I may talk about that. I definitely talked about it during the Christ Consciousness meditation series at some point, but that I was shown the exact same thing, that there are new chakras, one of them being the high heart.
Yeah, there's something with above our heads too. There's linking of some
Mm-hmm.
sort to, I'm hearing the star or solar star chakra. I don't know, something of that nature. But Spirit's saying that it's only for those that are choosing the vibration. See, this new earth that we are creating, see, they're showing me Gaia has already split into this Vesica
Mm-hmm.
Pisces, and that the bridge is available now for the 5D experience. But it's like, unless you've really mastered your frequency, you're not going to be able to attune to it. And that's why we are experiencing all of these triggers and all of the shadow work. And soul is light as a feather, heart with wings. If you don't put the burdens down, you can't align with the frequency or vibration of heaven on earth. You just, it's there for you, but you have to choose it. And so I feel like you and I, are bridges. Like, our energy helps people to cross into the quantum leap should their higher self choose it. And so we can end with that, because like Spirit would channel to you all night long if
if we
I
let,
just
if we
if
just
I
sit
had
here
more
with you.
time. I really gotta
See?
go too.
That's why I like coming over to Tracie's house.
Yeah.